amazing. Rocky, want to see you.
I really don't think they flew 90 billion light years to start a fight.
Some say chill days so long gone, can't bring them back, no magic wand. Counting white cotton clouds, painted on the blue sky's shroud. And yet somehow that way is fake, with eternal hopeful flair. Pineapple pizza, Hawaiian ice freeze, yeah. Can't wait to be up 3 days of you and me. I'm
sailing! I'm sailing!
I just can't wait for 3 days of you and me.
He's been cited by Forbes, The Wall Street Journal, Benny Johnson, Timcast, Dr. Jordan Peterson, and even the U.S. government.
But soon they'll wake up to see the summer sizzles in me.
We're doomed. Will this never end?
Direwolf's back and so are you. Oh yeah. Belvedere flying so the moon. Oh yeah. And everyone singing just the right tune. Maestro blasting on the jazz flute.
We are all participating in mandatory fun activities.
Jelly bean bonus, every flavor in the bag. Super movie star, but first gotta join SAG.
Keep our eyes open.
Wonder Ken, super friend, where are you? Get a search warrant for the near clear blue.
It's scooping time.
And can't you believe that? We've been waiting on you, can't you see that? Put away the bad things they said to you.
You are a sad, strange little man. Have my
After all, just have to call and say you're some kind of
Because you are the special.
epic. Epic, epic, yeah, that's what you do. I'm talking about epic, epic, it's all you know how to do. You wake up to epic, epic, it's on repeat for you. Oh, epic, epic, epic. Epic.
Hear ye, come on, come on, to the never stopping daily strife, and it's called simpler times, they beckon so, floating on the water with no phone. Can we get away now, find a way now, somehow step out of this stream into a dream of slow it down. Jay says that he remembers a place before the never, ever, ever, ever severed our tranquility. Counting cars by Highway 30, sitting in the porch swing, guessing colors so poorly. Yeah. Is the next one a blue or red one? Maybe silver, maybe gray. What a way to spend a day.
Ladies and
and gentlemen, it's the WDW Pro Show! Hello, folks. Welcome to the Spider-Man Brand New Day live review. We got the panel. I'm bringing them on, but I just want you to know as we dive into this, this is going to be a different kind of review. All right, who do we have out there? Let's bring him in. First of all, he is the man with the green thumb. He's the man with the purple thumb. He is Culture Casino. Hey, Culture.
Hello.
Hey.
Good evening. How are you, Pro?
Well, now I'm even farther over here. Ron, how are you?
Hey, Ron.
Very close.
I know. Marv. Oh, thank you, Marv. You fixed it all for us. Marv, how are you, buddy?
It's what I do. I show up here and fix things.
That's right. Let's see. I think I like that for the layout. I like the signs on the same. Anyway, I know, guys, welcome aboard. It is time for the Spider-Man Brand New Day live review. All four of us here have seen the film. We may have additional panelists in just a few. We'll see. But we've all seen the film. We're all excited to give the review of it. And I am donning for the very first time the red hat in honor of Spider-Man. Oh, Spider-Man. Oh. Folks, first, before we do this, let's get the super chats up on the screen. Lord Maddowick for 999. If Walt Disney had his personal horseman of the apocalypse, it would be Bob Iger Conquest, Kathleen Kennedy War, Kevin Feige Death, and John Lasseter as Pestilence?
Oh.
John Lasseter is Pestilence? Really? I don't got. Steve Aspel is Famine. Poor John.
I would have made Dana Walden Pestilence.
Yeah, John's just a hugger. He's just a hugger. Mark Fields is out there for 199. I hope you never get tired of my positive vibes. I promise we never will.
Love it.
Never do.
Juliet for 2. Morning, Pro Panel and Pro Rides. Good to see you out there, Juliet. Paul 12,000 for 5. Today is World Friendship Day. Dia de los Amigos del Mundo. Hello to all my friends out there throughout the YouTubes and the world. Pro, Steve, O2RR, Red, Woofle, and to so many more. Paul, it's great to say that you are a friend of the channel, friend of all of us here on the screen. Love you, buddy. Hope you're doing well out there. Red Tigress is dropping by and giving us 5 gifted memberships right off the bat. Thank you, Red Tigress. That is going to bat for the channel and telling YouTube this is the place to be. We've got Jay out there for 5. Nearly missed the earlier show this afternoon, but caught it at work. Then was afraid I'd miss this one, but luckily got off on time. 11-hour day.
Ooh, long one.
Of excellence. That's right, Jay, and we're happy that you're with us. We are continuing on with the work day. This is work to us, but it's a joy. Best job in the world for all four. And boy, do we have a review for you. Red Tigress for 5. Curious to hear about this one. Might as well throw 1 in for the goal. The goal tonight, folks, is an AMA about Spider-Man. Anything you want to ask, you can ask it. We'll get to it. Tubular Bra for 199. No spoilers. Well, don't worry, Brazier. We will not come near to a spoiler in the first half of the show. We'll let you know when we switch to spoiler territory. But at the beginning, no spoilers. We'll start with a spoiler-free review.
Wait, I have a spoiler, though.
Oh, don't.
No, it's not for the movie.
Oh, just on your vehicle?
No, just Marv celebrated 8K today.
Yeah.
Hey, Marv, way to go, buddy.
Yeah, we had our 8K celebration tonight. It was, we kept it small. We didn't invite everybody in. We just kind of kept it to the core cast for this one because we wanted to make it more of like a, just like a regular show, but just with a little bit of an extra oomph. We played some games. We had a good time.
10K is coming soon, Marv. I
10K
just
is
know
going
it
to be
is.
big, and I'm going to have everybody on for that. That's going to be. So the goal is 10K by Christmas.
Culture will bring the candy corn.
I think I left it at your place.
I'm going to ship it to you. Neo has gifted a membership. Thank you, Neo. We appreciate you. And Jay sends in 2 and says, congrats to Marv. There you go. All right. Before we do the review, wait a minute. We got one more that came in. Let's get it real quick. We got Woofle, the Crime Dog McGruffle for 5. Was it a movie that was ever made? What are you talking about? Was it a movie?
It was a movie.
Yeah, definitely. It was. It was a movie.
It was.
It was.
It doesn't matter. It's a fake movie. If I'm doing a fake movie, it's going to be a fake hit.
All right. Before we get into the review, folks, I want to just say one more time, spoiler free. You don't have to worry. You don't have to be scared. And if you haven't seen the movie, that's really what you need to hear. This is a movie that you do need to avoid the spoilers. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
You owe it to yourself. So we are going to delineate. When we switch from spoilers or from spoiler-free to spoilers, we will tell you over and over. This is not like the Odyssey, where who cares? This is not like Toy Story 5. Who cares? These spoilers matter. They matter for your movie-going experience. I know you know the one that got spoiled on the red carpet, so yes, I'll just go ahead and say it. Jean Grey's in the movie. Sadie Sink plays Jean Grey. That was spoiled on the premiere at the red carpet. Everybody knows it. Okay? Everything else that's a spoiler, we're not touching it. Not touching it, and you don't have to worry about it, but we will tell you when we get ready to switch over. Gentlemen, are we ready to dive into the review, perhaps?
Absolutely.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, get ready. Well, folks, Spider-Man Brand New Day is here, and it's a movie. It's a movie, and we've got all our friends gathered together right now for a spoiler-free review of the movie. And I've been waiting for a film like this for a long time. And I'll pause it right here for you. People will say to me, Pro, you don't score films correctly. And the reason they say that is because Project Hail Mary comes out, and I gave it an 8.5. And they say, Pro, come on, man. It's at least a 9. And then Michael comes out, and they say, Pro, come on. You gave it an 8. What are you doing, man? This is the kind of movie. This is the reason I don't give those films those kinds of scores. And this is the kind of film that is going to embarrass everybody who said The Odyssey is a 10. Not subjectively, objectively. This film blows The Odyssey out of the water, pun intended. You cannot see this film and then hold on to the opinion that The Odyssey was a 10. You can't do that. Unless we're grading on a scale of to 100. Spider-Man Brand New Day, folks, if we just want to get into how good this is, and again, spoiler-free, Spider-Man Brand New Day just might have saved the entire superhero genre. I went into this film thinking that I was going to see a Spider-Man film. This is like Godzilla -1. This is a Spider-Man film. There's no doubt about it. But this is way more than a Spider-Man film. This is a movie that had people in my theater weeping. I was not prepared for that. I had no anticipation of that. I thought I was going to see Spider-Man, and I thought there's no way they will ever top No Way Home with Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield. I thought there's no way. You can't top it. It's better. I'll go a step beyond. Spider-Man Brand New Day just might be the greatest superhero film ever made. However much money this movie makes, it should make more. I hope this movie makes $2.5 billion. I hope it blows out Endgame. I hope The Odyssey is forgotten, because The Odyssey sucks in comparison to this movie. The Odyssey is a pile of garbage in comparison to this movie. And there are things in this movie, and I can't wait to get the panel's thoughts on this. There are things in this movie that I cannot believe are in a Marvel superhero film. Tom Holland, it is said, had some degree of creative control over this. It is said that Tom Holland would only do this if it was the right story and if he had some ability to navigate the film. Tom Holland should be in charge from here on out of every Spider-Man movie there is, and he should. You just wait, Culture. If you're going to be negative, you're going to have a bad time tonight. You can listen. I'm not gonna. You can have whatever opinion. It's okay. Here, let me trigger Culture. Culture. This movie is so good that I will, from henceforth, until I am forced to change my mind, I will be kind and respectful of Zendaya and her Sour Patch face that she puts on in every movie, because that is Tom Holland's wife. And I don't know if she had any influence on this movie or not, but I bet she did. And because of that, I will be nice to Zendaya for as long as I possibly can. Marv.
No, I was going to say, you know who did have a say in this with Tom Holland was the fans. He actually looked at fan forums and Twitter, and he looked at all the things that people were saying they wanted. He looked at all the things that they really loved about the PlayStation game, the first one, the good one. And so, yeah, he put a lot of that into it. I am not going to follow you that far down the rabbit hole and say it's the greatest superhero movie ever made, but it is easily the best thing they've made since Endgame.
We'll debate it. We'll debate it in a little bit. Let me say what's in the movie, though, that without being no spoilers, okay? This is a movie that wears a superhero genre skin. But here's what's in the movie. This is a movie that teaches a couple of morals. Moral number one is that no matter how good you are, you cannot carry the load by yourself, and you should not try to do so. That it is honorable to try, but that ultimately you need friends and loved ones to help carry the load. Moral number two that this film gives us, and this is a deep one, and the way they do this is deep. Moral number two out of this film is the idea that if you have a loved one who embeds in you kindness and love and morals and virtue, that those around you who are not so fortunate to have had someone like that, that you can share with them the memory of your loved one and what they mean to you as a way to spread that then to others. And it's like Mr. Rogers. The ethos of Mr. Rogers was embedded into Spider-Man. I felt like at times I was watching the morals of a Bluey episode, but in the coolest superhero film you just about ever seen. And then I'll give you one more thing about this Spider-Man film. One more thing that I said, I can't believe this is in Spider-Man. And I don't know if you guys caught this or not. I'm going to hand it over to you. There's a point in this film where Peter Parker is trying to stop himself from becoming something that he doesn't wish to be. And he's doing it through science. And in this segment, it is so blatantly clear, it is so obviously clear that one of the issues they're dealing with is the gender issue for young people today. Because what MJ, minor spoiler here, but you have to put it in here for people to understand. MJ says, from my side, it looks to me like you're just a guy going through changes. And she insinuates to him that he should embrace those changes and not try to stop them with science.
A nice guy.
Yes, a nice guy. You could not tell. There's no way they made that and didn't know that speaks to the idea of people trying to block the normal progress of their life, of their body, especially teenagers, and having MJ say, you shouldn't do that. It's really scary to change your body with science. You shouldn't do that. You're just a nice guy going through changes, and you should roll with that. That may be something that 90% of people don't realize what that's saying, but subconsciously it will. And I thought, I can't believe that's in a modern Marvel movie. I can't believe somebody got that in. I can't believe it. Okay, I've blathered enough. We'll talk about the score in a little bit, but first, panel, agree, disagree, and what did you think? Let's start for the sake of the hierarchy and the way that people read books and that kind of thing. Ron, you're at the top left. Therefore, you begin.
Okay. Well, I had the privilege of being able to see this not by myself, but in a full movie theater and with my family. Which was interesting because my son is 13 and I would say a couple years younger, and a lot of this movie I might have found objectionable to take him because the Punisher is in it. Okay.
Lots of language from the Punisher.
And let me tell you, the first thing that came on before the movie did not set a good tone for us because it was the Clayface trailer. And what an abomination that trailer is, especially to put it before a superhero movie when it's really more of a horror genre movie. Like my son is literally covering his face trying to. So, that was somewhat of a challenge because I'm like, oh boy, I hope this Spider-Man movie is not in the vein of this Clayface thing. But it started and it was good. After the movie, my wife she said she thinks maybe it was the best movie that she'd ever seen in her entire life. And I value her opinion greatly. My son absolutely loved it. Now wants to go back and watch other Spider-Man films. For my own opinion, I wasn't sure how they were going to incorporate the Punisher. You know what was interesting to me is one of the common criticisms of Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man 2, Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man 3 is the too many villains in the movie. And this movie has way more, technically speaking, way more villains than any of those. But also this movie doesn't really have a villain like one particular. It's really interesting. We'll get to the spoilers later, but it was just interesting to watch because what this was for Peter Parker, it was seeing Peter Parker in a way that I don't think we've seen Tom Holland's version of Peter Parker and Spider-Man like this before. Really, his world of the Avengers, his world of Tony Stark, his world of even his friends, of his everything has been stripped from him at the beginning of this movie. And for a superhero that you've literally seen battle aliens in outer space, taking everything from him and making him start over to go through that hero's journey again, you're wondering if it can be pulled off. And I thought they did a very, very good job of pulling it off. And it is what required the Punisher to be in this film. Like that's what's crazy is I had no idea how it was going to work out. John Bernthal's Punisher, from what I had seen, I've watched all of his material in Netflix, and even the crappy stuff that's been on Disney Plus, and Bernthal knocked it out of the park as the Punisher in this movie in a way that you really, really want to see him, bring it on the screen. But also another thing, one of the things that a lot of people said last year, those people that loved the Superman movie last year really compared it to a comic book come to life. My problem with that was that I felt like it was more like the Super Friends television show from the 1970s, trying to adapt that to the screen, where they literally had a kaiju that grew, it was 3 feet tall, then it grew to like 300 feet tall overnight. That made no sense. There's a lot of things in that Superman movie that made no sense. But to me, this was very, very much like a comic book, almost more like a graphic novel come to life, because I would say that it probably told the story of several comic books that would have had to be put together over a series of time if you were actually reading comic books. But they did such a great job. They had so many different characters. They also did that amazing homage to the comic book covers, the Amazing Spider-Man, the Spider-Man covers that have been done over time. Daniel Cretton made sure that those got put in, and they did a spectacular job putting that in. And then my favorite personal, can I little spoily thing?
I have no idea because I don't know what you're going to say.
Okay, this is my favorite Easter egg.
Okay,
has to do with, and I won't even say what the Easter egg is, but I will say what it's an homage to. It was a couple things, but the biggest thing that it was an homage to was the failed first teaser trailer for the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man film.
Yeah, deep cut.
Which had to, it was a deep cut because that trailer had to be pulled. In spoiler territory, we'll go over that later, but I thought that was awesome.
Now, I'll say that one of the impressive things about this movie, of many, many, many impressive things, is that Tom Holland has learned a new trick. Marv, Tom Holland now is channeling Tobey Maguire. He is making facial expressions, and I don't know how he figured that out, but he's matching Tobey Maguire. I don't know if it's something they talked about when they've been working together now, but it's uncanny, and it takes this to another level. But Marv, so you said you don't know if this is the greatest superhero film of all time, and we'll rank it later. But Marv, how about this? Jean Grey is the greatest villain in modern Marvel movies.
No.
Who's better?
Thanos.
Thanos?
Yes, Thanos is one of the greatest movie villains of all time.
Oh, he's so
like,
boring.
Not even just superhero movies. Not even like, you know, because Jean's not an actual villain. Like,
you can't say that.
I know, but like, you have to know that Jean Grey is not a villain in the Marvel universe.
Okay, Marv, walk us through your thoughts on the film.
Okay, so I think that this is the most Spider-Man a movie has felt since Spider-Man 2.
Is it the best Spider-Man film ever?
Wow, you didn't even let me get a sentence.
I got to know, is it because you said it's not the best superhero film? Is it the best Spider-Man film?
I don't know. It's definitely, yeah, I think maybe. I think it may be the best Spider-Man film. It is, it just, so I get why a lot of people did not like the Tom Holland movies up to this point. I like them, but I get why people don't, because he's not really being like the normal Spider-Man. He's being Tony Stark Jr. You know, he's got all this advanced, you know, stuff. He's going on trips to Europe. It's not very Spider-Man. In this, he's in the small apartment. He's by himself. It's street level crime. He's not really touching the broader MCU. He's not dealing with multiversal magic and stuff like that. This is a very grounded Spider-Man movie. It's the most street level Spider-Man movie we've ever had. And I actually really appreciated that. You know, this is also a Spider-Man movie where he is coming into his own, because, you know, the mutation that he's going through is presented as a bad thing, but it's all about accepting, you know, who you can be and what you can do. And, you know, going forward from there, I was my biggest concern going into this was Mark Ruffalo was going to ruin this movie for me, and they're going to ruin The Punisher. By putting him in a PG-13 movie. The Punisher was great. I mean, I thought John Bernthal was the exact same Punisher, just not making F-bombs. They finally did the thing that I've been begging them to do with the Punisher for years. I said, I want in the next thing for him to just be the Punisher, because in everything, whether it's Daredevil or his own show or his own like little mini movie on Disney Plus, every time we meet back up with him, he's got a big bushy beard and he's crying into a bottle of Wild Turkey about his family, and he's got PTSD, and he's not being the Punisher. Just let him go be the Punisher. And this one, he's got the battle van. We saw it in the trailer. And it was really cool to watch the Punisher brush up against the superpowered side of the Marvel universe. Like, I thought that was really, really interesting. And yeah, we finally hit the point where with these Spider-Man movies, I said back when they did Spider-Man 3, the Raimi movie, I was like, well, I feel like we're at the point now where this movie could open with him fighting a lesser supervillain. It could open with him fighting like the Shocker or something like that. And they never did it. But in this movie, like, the Scorpion is the Scorpion, and you know, he's just the Scorpion. Like, we don't need to see how he got the suit. You know, the Hand, we already know who the Hand is from watching Daredevil season 2. I would have liked to have seen more Tombstone. He's a glorified cameo, but that he actually looked really cool. So there were some things that where I was just kind of like, oh man, they're skipping over a lot of stories that I would have liked to have seen, like him fighting Tombstone and him fighting the Hand. But on the whole, I mean, this was a movie with a lot of heart. It was a movie with a lot to say. Tom Holland carries the entire thing. I didn't even hate Zendaya in it. I thought that she was fine in this movie. I didn't think she was great. I mean, but he made me care about MJ as a character because of how much he cared about her. And I cared about Peter as a character so much that I didn't want to see harm come to MJ because of that. Ned's barely in it. So, you know, he if you don't like Ned, then this is a fine movie for you. But yeah, I thought as a whole, it was actually really, really good. I don't think I give it a 9. I think I'm gonna...
Whoa. Let's hold on the scores now. We'll get there.
I'm trying to think, like, it's hard to talk about the plot of this movie without getting into spoilers because so much of this was spoilery. I will say, I think that it was about 20 minutes too long. I think a lot of the emotional beats with Peter, with MJ and Ned, I would say that dragged the movie out way too much. I think 2 hours would have been a sweet spot for this. It was at one point where like toward the end of the movie where he's in the big climax, and I'm like, man, the Hulk stuff felt like it was a million years ago. I didn't mind that as much, but then like there were also like little like inconsistencies that bothered me. Like, you know, how is Down on His Luck always broke Peter Parker have this like you know, crazy tech setup in his apartment? How is he making money to afford this? Like, like there's nothing of him like selling pictures to the Daily Bugle. And by the way, J. Jonah Jameson not being in this movie, I think was a miss. I think that was a misfire, because I think that Jameson, because the New York is overwhelmingly pro Spider-Man, and that's not typically a thing that happens. You always need Jameson as that voice of dissent that kind of turns some of New York against him. And I think that would have made the third act actually hit more. When you know, this was, I will say,
That's a good point.
New York is a character in this movie,
like Ghostbusters. It's kind of like at the end of Ghostbusters, where everybody's like, you know, cheering on the Ghostbusters as they take on the
so New York is a character in this movie, and it should be in a Spider-Man movie. This was the most New York has factored into the Spider-Man story since the end of Spider-Man 1 with the, if you mess with one of us, you mess with all of us. And, you know, that came out in like 2002. So that was a very big time for that kind of sentiment in New York. So, yeah.
Marv, you said it was,
enjoyed the movie.
You said it was a little long. I agree with you. But for me, the way I would have fixed that, Yelena is in this movie. That's the new Avengers girl. You don't need a single scene with her. She serves no purpose. I'm thinking that was like a Kevin Feige, you got to get her in kind of thing. Yeah. She's not needed at all.
No, yeah. The I didn't mention that because I thought it was spoilery, but
no, it's all right. But as long as we don't say why, but the movie doesn't need her.
Yeah, she pops up and it's completely useless. I didn't even recognize her at first, and the scene that she's in is actually kind of creepy.
Yep.
So
no need for her. Culture, the floor is yours, sir. Tell us your thoughts without spoiling anything for Spider-Man Brand New Day.
This is Gen Z's DEI, the movie.
Oh,
and I'm going to tell you right now, there are at least 7 superfluous, unnecessary characters that appear here for no other reason than they want to get the happy claps from Hollywood. So now to what I really think. I fully enjoyed this one. It was a good time. Look, with
you got every one of us. We all totally believed this, and we were all going to put on a face and suck it up and just sit here and think, "Oh no!"
Look, with great powder comes great snowboarding, and I'm going to tell you right now, this film was 100% a good time for most of it. And look, I'm going to say that my objections to this film were basically what I illustrated in absolute hyperbole. I felt like there were too many side quests. There was too many like jaunts off into nothingness. And the companion detective lady, why? It's just,
okay, yeah, you're right. She also serves no purpose. I'm with you there.
She should have been the cop from the video game, Yuri.
Right? Yeah, that would have been perfect. And I just have to say this, that the conversation about the Punisher, it can only be served by that gave us a buddy cop feel. It gave us that street level stuff you guys are talking about. And in the review video that anybody if you're a member, you can go watch the review now. But tomorrow morning, if you get a chance to see my review, I talk about the Netflix series and how this perfectly ties into that. It gives you that street level view, the Hell's Kitchen view of New Jersey, New York, and everything else, where these characters kind of were all like holding down the fort. And so, and look, I said something kind of sharp and witty in a chat that we all share, saying there was still too much Zendaya, but honestly, they toned her down, or she toned herself down, and
it wasn't as witty
worked.
as we thought it was.
Yeah, well, that's fine, but all I have to say is it worked out well. That you can genuinely see they have a solid relationship both on the screen and off the screen. And obviously it's nice to have chemistry with somebody you're working with, but there's a chemistry there. And there are moments in this film that genuinely pull your heart. And like, I'm listening to grown like men in their 20s behind me commenting on one of the most heartbreaking scenes in the film.
I listen to people weep in my theater. I was not expecting to go into a Spider-Man movie and hear people weep.
It was definitely worth the watch. It was worth the early go to the theater. It's going to be worth the price of seeing it on the biggest screen you can.
Yep.
And I don't normally say that. My rating is going to surprise people, and we'll get there when we get there. But Sadie Sink is great in this. I'm sorry.
Do you think Thanos is a better villain than Jean Grey?
I think there are 10 better villains than Jean Grey.
I think she's the best. Listen, the psycho thriller aspect of this is just what she does with some of Peter Parker's greatest insecurities is amazing.
Sure, unless you're Bob, who could literally black out the world with depression. I mean,
I'm not talking about like a power level. I'm talking about interesting. You know, like the different stuff going on with her is just so interesting.
Sure. Yeah.
They approached the character from a way that's never been approached before, and that was what I liked. So we've had Jean Grey
and I appreciated that too. And look, this is not a Jean Grey origin story. It's a new Jean Grey origin story. It also includes some stuff that doesn't exist in the comics, and Ron pointed that out earlier. So I'm looking at this, and I was creeped out a little bit by the Yelena part, and you can go and explore that for yourself. But like I said, if there weren't all this superfluous other stuff, this movie could have been exactly the right length. And I really do feel like they wasted one of the organizations that they were leading into in the Netflix series, and that they hinted at in other Marvel series with Damage Control, that I think they wasted. So this wasn't 100% a home run, but it was the best of Tom Holland's Spider-Man movies. Of the 4 films that he's been in for Spider-Man, this is the best of them.
Is there a better Spider-Man film, period?
Oh, of course, Tobey.
Which one?
1, 2, not 3.
Okay.
But look, when you look at this reminds me, and this is something I was talking about, because somebody asked me the other day, what's your favorite Spider-Man run? And I was like, the late 60s, early 70s. I had to go and collect those because, you know, I wasn't born then when they came out. I had to go and collect them in arrears. And I'm just going to tell you, that was Stan Lee, Ditko, and oh gosh, what's that other fella's name? Nice Spanish name. Oh, I always forget his name. Anyway, that particular run of books was amazing. The Amazing Spider-Man. And there were a few other runs that were equally good. But once we got to 2000, I felt like even Straczynski, I think that was his name, he tried to do a decent run, but didn't. So, like I said, this felt the most Spider-Man for me that I felt in a Marvel MCU film. And I felt like this one and the last one, No Way Home, you know, they're very good. Thank you, Ramita. Thank you. Somebody in the chat got it. So, but yeah, it's just, it's one of those things where, for the first time in a long time, I smiled. I smiled in a movie, and I smiled more than a few times. In the movie.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, that doesn't happen very often. Like I think, Super Mario Galaxy, I smiled in a movie.
When Rocky showed up and said "Amaze, amaze, amaze," I know you like that.
I smiled in a movie, but it's few and far between now, and it's something that I genuinely notice. And look, I was in a crowd. First of all, I'm at a really crazy early preview showing, very early in the day. Unlike Marv, who missed his showing, had to go to the next one.
My theater was packed.
But I was surprised. I was elbow to elbow with people in a theater where normally there'd be me or like 2 other people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's wild.
Let's get to the review scores. Ron,
before you do that, bro, I just make one point.
Sure.
To all this is what this movie proves is that the MCU can still be great when you remove Disney from the equation.
Yes. Because Deadpool and Wolverine, Disney didn't have any, they had no say on that. That was approved by Bob Chapek, and it was handed to Sean Levy. That was his baby. It had nothing to do with Kevin Feige. Completely separate from Marvel. Yeah. That succeeded. What else has succeeded? The Spider-Man stuff.
No Way Home. Yeah.
Spider-Man, not controlled by Disney, controlled by Sony.
It kicks in the teeth the narrative that we have superhero fatigue. And I'm going to keep saying it. We have bad movie fatigue. So make good movie.
And again, I'll say this before we give the review scores. If you saw The Odyssey and you gave The Odyssey a 10, you are stuck right now. because you're going to have to say this is a 15 because this is so much better than the Odyssey. It is unbelievable. Ron, review score 0 to 10. 0 is the worst film you've ever seen. Garbage Pail Kids. 10 is the greatest thing ever. We're talking about Citizen Kane, Godfather Part 2, etc. 5's average. Where is Spider-Man Brand New Day for you, Ron?
First of all, I have to say that I would give this a little bit of a higher score if Morgan Freeman had been in it, reading a Spider-Man comic at the beginning, going, Spider-Man, nobody knows who you are.
Nobody knows who you are.
But that's actually the truth.
That's a really old reference for those that started Spider-Man with the Electric Company like I did. There's a couple things holding me back from giving this a 10. I give it a 9. It's very, very far up there.
Yeah. All right. 9 out of 10. Marv?
When I first came out, I said 8 in my out of the theater review, or 8 or an 8.5. I think I'm going to stick with an 8.
Okay. Going with an 8. So we've got a 9 and an 8. Culture? What say you?
Oh, I said in my review, and I said walking out of the theater, this is an 8. This is a solid 8. I considered a higher score, but then I was like, there's some flaws. There are not many, but it was too long, and there are a few flaws. And other than that, it's Tom's best work, and I think at the same time, it might be the best Marvel movie in a long time.
So I'm going to say it's the best Marvel movie, period. My review score, I'm going to put this on the screen because I'm going to own this. Okay? Because I'm just going to own it. We'll see how this plays out with audiences, but I'm just going to own this score. Ladies and gentlemen, if you see it at the bottom, I'm giving this a 9.7 out of 10. I think this is a phenomenal movie. There are some things that are wrong with it. Elena should not be in the film at all. Take her out. Marv is right. I would have liked to see Jameson in the film. I think there's one point in the movie where MJ is a little too cruel in the script. But I'll say that this is a blast. I think it is an important film for this current moment in history. Spider-Man is truly a good person, top to bottom, and the morals that it's teaching kids, I dare say, are just about the most Judeo-Christian things I've seen in a Marvel movie. And
it's been good.
This film is fantastic, and I hope it makes every single dollar that it can. I hope it just dominates the box office for weeks and weeks and weeks. Please, I want these kinds of movies. 9.7 out of 10 from me. I dare say I think it's better than Godzilla -1. It is the highest score I have given on the Pro Show as of now. And there are movies that are better. If I were to go back in like the pantheon of movies that I've seen, I would give like Bridge of Spies a 10. Godfather Part 2 is obviously higher. I can think of movies that are better, but this was unexpected from me as a Spider-Man movie. I went into this not expecting to have such an important and great film put out there for us. 9.7 out of 10 is the score for me. You've heard the rest of the folks. There's nothing lower than an 8 here. What we're trying to tell you is, yes, you should see this film, and you should take your kids. And if you are bothered by profanity and you don't want your kids to hear profanity, and that's probably the right thing, cover their ears when the Punisher starts to move his mouth. And otherwise, take everybody you can to go see Spider-Man. All right, let's get these super chats up on the screen. We've got Toad 7000 for $9.99. Don't spoil it. I'm taking my wife to see it tomorrow night. She doesn't want to hear any spoilers. She showed me The Blade, old school. Just kidding. Just don't spoil it. I hope we did a good job. We did not spoil it, but we're about to. Eric Stratton is dropping 5 wonderful WDW Pro memberships. Thank you so much, Eric Stratton. We appreciate you truly. We've got Arjan out there for 5. I saw it tonight at Disney Springs. The whole place was packed. It was a great movie. Indeed. J for 5 Pro, how could you spoil that Spider-Man was in this film? Okay, yes, it's a bad troll joke. I'll see myself out. Thank you, Jay. SpongeBob, me boy, for 5. Honest question, how does this movie compare to Spider-Man?
I was gonna say, if only it was as easy to get the other people that make bad troll jokes to do that.
Exactly. SpongeBob, me Bob, for 5. Honest question, how does this movie compare to Spider-Man 2, and how does it compare to Amazing Spider-Man 2? I think it's better than both. It's way better than Amazing Spider-Man 2. It's better than Spider-Man 2.
Amazing Spider-Man 2 is like probably the worst Spider-Man movie of all time.
Yeah, but
Spider-Man 2 was probably one of the best. I would say it's up there with Spider-Man 2.
Mercenary for 2, is the movie worth watching or just a total pass? Definitely worth watching.
Yeah.
J for 5, Christopher Daniel Barnes is my favorite Spider-Man. Not live action, of course. Jennifer Hale as Black Cat, and the late, great Ed Asner as J. Jameson. And Ed was a great one. We've got Wolverine for 10. I disagree with Pro on the gender issue in the movie. For me, it was more about growing naturally from teenager to adulthood. Jean is actually against DNA inhibitor because it stops natural growth. Yes, but in this case, Peter is substantively changing. And so I think it's actually commentating on puberty for young people. And the idea that you shouldn't try to block this. Don't be afraid of it.
The change into the adult. I mean, it wasn't hard. It was spelled out for people when the computer was running the video on the screen.
Keith David voice, yeah.
Yeah.
J for 2 said, "Culture, you magnificent bastardus."
I was when you started with the fake out, I was totally going to say, "Culture, you ignorant," and then do the
yeah, Jay.
I wasn't sure if I was able to say that word on this show, but I was.
Oh, you could if he had stuck with it, and that's what he thought. It was totally allowable. J for 2, my showing is at 9:30 a.m. tomorrow. Go, go, go! And J for 2, so everyone rated higher than my last name.
That's right.
Dude Man Cuz 199 says 9.5 for me. We're not far away. 9.7 from Pro. That's right. It's a great movie. Third Dr. Andrew, member for 10 months. I hate Ruffalo, so I will never see this film.
Oh, yeah.
Well, don't worry. He's in it for 2 minutes.
Yeah, it's valid. The one thing I do like is though we get back, like, and this was in the trailer, we do get back our pre-Ragnarok Hulk in this. Like he's not pouting or talking, or he's not looking like Mark Ruffalo with gay glasses on that he doesn't need.
It's 90
Mad Owl glasses.
95% it is CGI Hulk. Ruffalo is just barely in this film. And that might be why I don't give it even a higher score. I can't stand Ruffalo. I think he's gone so far to hate the audience that I can't forget who he is. It's like Robert De Niro. I don't like it. So anyway, mini spoiler, very tiny spoiler. Close your ears, folks, if you don't hear the mini spoiler. You ready? Because we're about to switch to spoilers anyway. One of the best parts about this movie is that the Hulk beats Spider-Man. They didn't cheap out. They didn't be like, well, it's a Spider-Man movie. Spider-Man's got to beat the Hulk. Nope, Hulk beats him. That's great.
As he should. I mean, Spider-Man doesn't. There's no universe in which Spider-Man beats the Hulk unless he
loses to him. Yeah. It's great. Albert Nutter Retro for 5. I want you 4 to sit down with Drinker, Mahler, Az, and a fourth guy from today's open bar. The overall consensus on episode 193 was no positive.
Really?
They're not positive about Spider-Man Brand New Day.
Here's the thing, guys, and this is the thing that I think everyone needs to hear. Subjective opinions are subjective opinions. We're allowed to like something just as much as somebody else is allowed to dislike. If you dislike this movie that I like, it in no way angers me. It in no way offends me. It's your opinion. You're allowed to have yours. I'm allowed to have mine. They're allowed to have theirs. We're allowed to have ours.
But I will say this, Marv. It would be hard. Like I'm giving this a high rating. So somebody might say, Pro, it's not a 9.7. It's at best, it's an 8. Or they might say, at best, it's a 7. But it would be very difficult to watch this film and come away from it and say it's a bad film. Like that would be difficult.
I mean, it all depends on what you like. It depends on what your taste is. I mean, there are people that love cilantro, and there are people like me that think it tastes like soap.
That's a genetic issue.
Yeah. Well, you have bad genes. It's fine.
His Wranglers are just fine with me. Sean is out there for 199. Huge disappointment. 3 out of 10. Not a joke. Sean, tell us why. We'd love to hear why you did not like Spider-Man Brand New Day. Dude Man Cuz for 199. Ruffalo doesn't take you out. He would if he was in it for one more second, but he's just in there enough.
He's the reason. He's the reason it's an 8, not an 8.5 for me.
He is so abrasive at this point in real life that it's difficult. It's difficult to watch it. And you know that you could even put Rachel Zegler in a movie, and I wouldn't pull the score down. But Ruffalo, man, he hates anybody who disagrees with him, so it's tough. Solstice Studios is out there helping us celebrate. So folks, join together and let's feed the hamsters on the wheel.
Perfect.
And wait, I gotta say it the right way. SpongeBob Me Boy for 5. To be fair, Sony was very careful to keep Mark Ruffalo away from the promotional interviews for this movie.
They did do that. I did a
And
video.
wise.
Yeah.
I wonder how it feels for Ruffalo to know that he's not even welcome to do promos anymore.
I thought I saw Rachel Zegler in this movie. Remember the scene where coming out of the hospital, there was cheers, like people were cheering, "Hey, Spider-Man, Spider-Man!" There was the top of some girl's hair, and it was black, and she was way in the back. I think that was Zegler, because that's the kind of role.
That's all it took, eh? That's you were like definitely Rachel Zegler. All right, folks, it's time. We're going to switch on over to spoilers. So, hey, stay at your own risk, but we're talking spoilers. We're Spider-Man Brand New Day.
Change the banner.
Oh, okay. All right, folks, we're talking about Spider-Man Brand New Day. New movie just came out, and we're talking about whether or not it is the best superhero film of all time. It is a spoiler review from all the four of us who have seen the film, so it's time to discuss it. Let's just dive straight into the crux of the matter here. Guys, this is a movie that lets us have a villain all the way until the end, and Jean Grey, who is the villain of the film, the way that Spider-Man conquers her is so phenomenally well done. We find out that she's not really the bad guy, that the government forces are the bad guys. Spider-Man finds it out, and he goes to save Jean Grey. She is so distraught after the death of her sister and at the hands of the government. She is so devastated. Her powers are so strong that the way Spider-Man wins this movie is to open himself up to her, allow her to invade his mind into his most intimate memories of deceased loved ones, and let Aunt May talk to her in his place and share with her the things that she had told Peter Parker that make him who he is. Basically, how she loved him into being a good person. She shares that with Jean Grey, and that is the message of the story: is how important it is to love the next generation, because then they will encounter people who haven't had that, and then they can share that love with others. And this is in a Spider-Man movie. I was completely not expecting that, and it is it's a psychological move there that is just phenomenal. Guys, we'll go into any spoilers you want, but I wanted to share that part in particular, that it's action-packed until the very end, and it's like, I can't save you the normal way. So Jean Grey, go ahead, get into my memories where it hurts the worst, and find out why I miss my loved ones so much because of how amazing they were, and let them touch you. And it's like, wow, what a thing to do in a movie. Guys, your thoughts?
So yeah, I really enjoyed that. I thought that was a good moment. I also really enjoyed, I loved the sequence where Punisher and Spider-Man fight the Hulk together.
Yeah.
That was like, watching the Punisher fight the Hulk was really interesting. And I like that he starts out as Professor Hulk, because that's the version of the Hulk that he has been since Endgame. And then, when Jean lets go of his mind, he's so discombobulated that the merging of the two personalities breaks, and he becomes the Savage Hulk again. That's the Hulk we've all wanted for so long. So you get pre-Ragnarok Hulk smash Hulk. No banner, only Hulk. Like, I love that. He's just been through this like insane experience, and now all of a sudden here comes the Savage Hulk again. And in the end, he gets arrested. He gets taken to a mental facility.
And it's serious. Like, that's what's important about it. There's no fun about it. It's serious. And yeah, they literally take Bruce Banner to a psych ward. D.L. Findell has
they show you also, Pro, how much bigger Savage Hulk is than Professor Hulk also.
Oh yeah.
He got big.
D.L. Findell has a great question. I want to get this. So this is another The Government is Evil Hollywood movie. Gosh, that's a problem for me. It's actually not. So it's there's a rogue federal agent that's running this program. The rest of the government doesn't know what's going on. There's a guy inside who's gone rogue and is basically tormenting and killing people. I mean, it's essentially, they put Fauci in the film.
Oh, that's bad.
They kind of did. Hadn't thought about that until right now.
The DODC is very strange because it started out as a cooperative project with Tony Stark. He was helping to fund it in the beginning in Homecoming, and it has evolved or devolved into more of a evil organization over time, because each time they reintroduced the DODC, they're worse and worse and worse. And now Tony Stark is no longer there to oversee it. And it's kind of like there is a comparative. It's kind of like if Elon Musk left and government took over his stuff. It could go really, really bad. I will tell you, I personally didn't mind Yelena being in the movie. I was surprised by that. That was a spoiler to me, because when she showed up, I'm like, whoa. I understand the problem.
She just doesn't add anything to the plot. I mean, she's just
the scene itself was like, that's weird. But like the like with the first scene where she shows up, I'm like, why did they stage it there? That they were trying to pull for laughs.
In a bathhouse. They stage it in a bathhouse, and she pressures Peter Parker into stripping down into just his mask and underpants, and then he has to get into the bath with her.
Yeah,
and
that's a little
really creepy.
Yep. But it's a superfluous scene. There's nothing that's gained from it, and you could remove it, and it has no effect on the movie.
My favorite.
Reverse the roles, though.
Yeah.
We know that, but it's nothing like Thor. If it was like Thor, I would call it out as egregious, but it's nothing like that. Ron, your favorite thing you were telling us about?
So my favorite. This is a huge spoiler. It's after we have seen Jean Grey possessed MJ, and we didn't know she was possessing MJ, and we thought MJ has started to remember him, right? And then she pulls it away from that. I mean, that is a heartbreaking moment for Peter. But then later on, I don't know if it was Tom Holland. I don't know what the writers. I don't know who was responsible for this writing, but I thought this was a great writing moment where you have that, then you pull the audience away from that. You make the audience mad at Sadie Sink's character, and then later on, MJ finds the letter, like on her own, that he wrote to her, and she confronts him, and it's kind of a heartbreaking scene because he admits that, like, he's been trying to save her life this whole time because he's in love with her, and she's like, I don't know who you are. Like, I wish I did. I'm so sorry, but I don't know who you are.
And I know, Pro, you think that was where she's unnecessarily harsh. I don't think that she's harsh. I think she's just being honest at that point. Like, I didn't find that to be harsh. I was just like, she doesn't know who this dude is. Like, I think all she knows is he came into her coffee shop one time and she was at her party. Like, that's about it. The scene Ron's talking about on top of the building where Jean makes him think that, he's done it. He's broken the spell and she's back. I knew the entire time that that's what was happening. I think everyone pretty much knows when they watch that scene that that's what's happening. And you just feel the knife twist in that scene. Like, it's actually like, that's exceptionally cruel.
It's a scarecrow level thing. Like, that's what I thought when it happened. I was like, wow, this is something you'd see in, like Scarecrow do to Batman or somebody in a movie.
But I'm like, also, like, how do you forgive that? Like, how does he go from that to, like, at the end of the movie being like, oh yeah, I'll be your friend?
Because he realizes
the power of empathy.
Well, he realizes that this rogue guy has killed her sister, and that's what, he's like, wow, she's in severe pain. I'm gonna save the day.
I took away something different than you guys did from that scene, though, on the building.
Okay.
Zendaya actually could act.
And there are parts in this film where I was like, wow, Zendaya is doing things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that scene was one of them.
I think this movie pushes Tom Holland. for the first time we've ever seen. I mean, like he's actually acting. He's really acting.
Only one that was like, whoa, when did he get so buff? Like he really bulked up.
You know, that wasn't my thought. I know I agree with you, but my thought was we got to get out of college because this train has left. Like we are no longer looking like we're college age, and when we take our shirt off, we look like a 30-year-old, you know, in shape kind of guy. This is not working anymore to be 20-year-olds in college. So get them out of there, graduate, and let's go.
Well, I mean, they did graduate. Like MJ and Ned have graduated from MIT. I thought that the device of him watching their social media, their Instagram reels and stuff like that was a good way to show the passage of time. I thought that was it basically told you everything it needed to tell you.
Let me say something extra positive, because I said this in my own review, but I'll say it here too. I didn't think very much of Destin Daniel Cretton, because I didn't really admire anything in Shang-Chi except for the action. He did an excellent job of directing whatever material he was given. Whoever the writers did a great job, but what he was given, he did a great job with. And he did, through those mechanisms you're describing, Marv, with the reels or whatever it was, and a lot of other shots, including the shots inside the party, and the other things that were in there that showed the passage of time, and the fact that, you know, Spider-Man was keeping, you know, the two people he cared about as close as he could. And I thought that was so well done. It did interfere a little bit with the pacing at points, but for the most part, I saw what the point of that was, which is why I called it so Gen Z. But I'm not the only one calling it Gen Z, by the way. But I'll just say this. I think that I didn't have to make up things to have nice things to say about the film for the first time in a long time when I do a movie review. I didn't have to say things like, well, it was in focus.
No,
it was well lit.
I thought back to spoilers. I think that Jean Grey, having lost her sister, is going to be a very fascinating thing. I think she not being found at the end of the film is great because now we know where that's going to go. We're definitely going to get an X-Men reboot. I will say that the end credits scene, Marv, you and I talked about this, what it should have been. Go ahead and tell the folks out there what you would have done with a Jean Grey post-credit scene, and then I'll give mine.
So what I would have done is I would have had Jean Grey sitting in a diner, you know, like basically on the run and
eating shawarma.
No. You know, like, so throughout the movie, Jean is jumping from head to head using her telepathic powers. And I would have had the waitress come up to her and give her coffee. And then all of a sudden say to her, you know, Jean, you don't have to do this alone. There are others like you. You could be a part of this. And she's gonna be like, well, who are you? How do you know my name? And she's gonna be like, trust me, Jean. Like, don't worry, Jean, you can do. And she'll be like, what? And then all of a sudden you just see the waitress go like, and because like it's head jumping to the next person. And then the next person in the next booth just says, you're not the only one with gifts, Jean. And then it jumps again to the guy opening the door, and the guy opening the door says, are you coming? And because that's Xavier. And Xavier, the you're not the only one with gifts is an iconic Charles Xavier line from the first X-Men movie. It would show you exactly who it is. Everybody would understand who it was, and you'd be able to introduce the concept of Xavier without having to have him cast yet or to make the announcement yet, because they obviously don't want to do that yet.
And so I like Marv's idea better than mine. I want to say this clearly. Marv's idea is the best one. My idea is just because I imagine what the theater would do when this happens, and I know they would like be backflips to the aisles. For my post-credit scene, I would have liked to seen Jean Grey at a diner, and she's sitting there, and somebody sits down next to her, and their fist comes down on the bar, and we see the 3 scars on the hand, and she looks up, and he says, "It's Hugh Jackman," and he says, "I knew a Jean once," and then cut. And that's it. And I think the crowd would just like lose their minds. Maybe not. But
I was surprised because I was so dead set before I went into this movie that the mutation was actually the symbiote adapting to his body. And then in the end,
I'm so glad they didn't do that. Oh,
that the black costume was just going to come over him, and that was going to be the big crowd pleasing moment. I actually like what they did better.
Yep. So what he's doing here is his trauma and his trying to do this on his own is causing him to become enraged. He's just so furious at his station in life, trying to do the right thing and never being rewarded for it, really, in the most important ways. And so it's causing the arachnid part of him to overtake the human part. But there's a great part of this where he now has the organic spider or the web shooters, right? And so he's like, well, Peter number 2 had this, and then he goes out to try to do it, and it like oozes out of his arm. He's like, oh, this is disgusting.
He's like dry heaving in his mask. That was
So that was good, but just visit on this idea for a moment, because this is where you guys were talking about Tom having some influence in this. They had discussed doing Man Spider along with this, but they backed off that idea.
Too much. It'd be too much body horror.
Exactly. They backed off the idea because they wanted it to be a PG-13 film that they could have kids see. That's why they backed off that idea.
You know what?
Superhero movie for kids. Maybe James Gunn should see this one.
What I love about this movie is it is the antidote to what we've been dealing with. Peter Parker is a good person.
Yeah.
Peter Parker carries the responsibility. He protects others. He's not cynical. He's not mean. Marv, as you told me on the phone,
bitter.
he's polite and respectful to the police officers.
Yes, I loved that they did not demonize the police.
He is a hero. There's not something in him anymore that is immature or bad or mean. He is a hero. He is something to aspire to be. And that comes from a place that he shares then in vulnerability to save the day, which is like, and then he gives his life.
Well,
spoiler, he gives his life to save Jean Grey.
There was a lesson there too, not only for Jean Grey, but for the Punisher. Because at the very beginning, there's a throwaway line about you can't solve every problem with bullets.
Right. Punisher kills him. I mean, and the only thing that saves him from being dead at the end of the film is Jean Grey. He gives his life for her.
I felt like because in the first Spider-Man game for PlayStation, he's very deferential to the police. He works with the police. The police are the good. I'm gonna web up for the cops. Yeah. In the second game, the police are stupid and ignorant, and they're never to be worked with. I got to get out of here before the cops show up. So I was really happy that in this one he actually even says to the police officer, he's just like, "You guys, the professionals. I'm just a volunteer." And I think in modern times, someone that goes through everything that he goes through, losing his aunt, losing the love of his life, losing his best friend, at that point now you're completely alone and you're isolated. It would turn to bitterness, and it would turn to just like having him be just a terrible person. I think that's what most writers would have done in that situation. They never do that with him in this.
Can I ask all three of you a question?
No.
What did the handshake mean at the end of the movie?
Ron, you take that one.
That was, that from what I could tell, that means Ned is remembering, not knowing that he's remembering, not it's not in his subconscious mind somewhere. Go ahead.
Wrong. No, he's guiding him through the handshake, and when he says that his name is Peter, Ned heard MJ call Spider-Man Peter, so he knows this is Spider-Man.
Well, I think that the handshake, although he's forgotten Peter, he still has the muscle memory of the handshake. That wasn't erased, and so he's like,
yeah, but he's not remembering anything. It's not possible for them to remember.
Right, he doesn't remember doing the handshake with Peter, but he remembers that this is a thing I did with somebody at some time, and you just said your name is Peter. You're Spider-Man, and I know a handshake with you.
Now, okay, one last thing. A lot of people said this isn't a setup for Doomsday.
Oh, it's not a setup for Doomsday.
There's
nothing here that's
why are we getting the introduction of the X-Men?
To reboot the X-Men.
That'll be post Secret Wars.
So you think that's why when they screwed up the order, this kind of screwed up the whole sequence of events?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I do. So with the post-credit scene with the spider app showing him out in space, that is him being in Secret Wars. One of my friends thought that meant Tobey Maguire being in Doomsday, and I was like, no, I think that
They're
just
gonna
means
kill everybody anyway.
He's going to be in battle. He's going to be on Battle World.
That post-credit scene is so pathetic.
Bad.
People don't have to stay for it. Just leave. It's not worth it.
What it is.
Watch it on the internet. It's out there already.
Yeah, there's no point in staying.
Yeah.
Ron,
I thought that we were going to get something with Zendaya and her boyfriend, because they brought in the guy that played Ezra Bridger in Ahsoka to play her boyfriend, and I thought he was going to end up doing more than he did.
he might still.
Yeah, I thought we were going to get something with Zendaya, and then I thought we were going to get something with Jean, but we got neither of those things.
I still, if Jean Grey had been in a diner and Hugh Jackman comes in, look out. And Marv's idea is better from a narrative perspective, but
yeah, he's right.
Yeah. Ron, final thoughts on the movie? Spoilers? Anything you want to do?
As much as I loved the fight scenes with the hands, especially after Peter embraced his power, like once Peter embraced his powers, like the new powers, that fight scene with the hand was like amazing to me.
Oh my gosh, you're right.
His webs, but at the same time, I had issues with the hand coming in because casual viewers who never saw Daredevil really would be like, "What is this?" But I'm very confused at how they came back. I'm like, I thought Daredevil got rid of him, and what does this mean for? Like, I'm connecting things that probably have no connection, but I'm like, what does this mean for Elektra? Because the last time we saw her,
so the guy
going back in season 3 of Daredevil,
the bad guy, when he's explaining why they're there, in the dialogue and the exposition, he's just doing that. I heard the words coming out of his mouth, and what I really heard was, "You're going to be fighting them later, so that's why they're here."
Yeah, they're here because they're cool ninjas.
That's your backstory.
At the end.
Yeah.
Hey, Peter, you're going to fight him later. That's what we're doing. So shut up, Peter.
I loved the montage in the beginning of him fighting all of the. All the different. Was one Black Tarantula? I'm confused about who all of them were, but I loved the montage because you see that he's been actively building this. And again, a little bit of confusion. If it's perfect for anybody that has not tried to keep up with the MCU, but if you try to keep up with the MCU, he was briefly mentioned as a spider-powered villain by Kingpin. But it's like, okay, so he was doing all that stuff during the Born Again arc, and New York is loving him. The Kingpin is hating him. And he was never captured. I don't know. That part's convoluted, so you just kind of have to throw out anything that Disney's done with Born Again or Daredevil.
I had that thought too, because I'm like, well, what's going on with Mayor Kingpin and his anti-vigilante task force in this? And then I realized no one cares because no one watched it, so nobody else is having this.
That's basically it. It really it doesn't matter, which is kind of a good thing. But seeing the Punisher's connection, I do wonder if there's going to be more Daredevil eventually in the next movie. And unfortunately, they nerfed. I keep wanting to see the Kingpin fight Spider-Man, but like a really good version of the Kingpin, and they nerfed him in the last.
It was a great comic.
Well, I'll tell you what this convinced me of is all those new Avengers. Throw them out. Captain America or Captain Falcon, whatever. Throw them out. Put Punisher in Avengers Doomsday, and I'm way more interested now. That version of Punisher combined with this version of Spider-Man, and throw in Hugh Jackman or whoever you want to. I don't care. This is who I want to see. I don't care about any of these other people that are in Avengers Doomsday, and that's why Doomsday's in danger.
Yeah.
Yeah, Doomsday's in danger.
Mackie and no one cares about any of them.
Right.
Even the Fantastic Four don't care.
No, I don't care about Pedro. Give me Punisher and Spider-Man. That's what I want now.
Yeah, I don't want Fantastic Four.
You can throw Deadpool in there too if you want.
Guys, there's no chance.
Deadpool and Spider-Man needs to team up.
There's no chance now that Doomsday beats Spider-Man at the box office. That is gone. This film is going to make so much money, it's crazy.
Yeah, I think we're looking at $2+ billion, and that was what I was going to ask. Do we want to talk about projections and stuff like that?
We can wrap it up that way. Yeah.
Some of the new numbers, I mean, you're looking now because they've added more auditoriums like we were talking about before. We're looking at over 4,400 auditoriums for Spider-Man, just domestic.
Now, imagine if they were getting the IMAX theaters too, how much money they would be making.
Yeah, well, yeah, and they have to wait 2 weeks for that. But right now, in opening weekend, on Wednesday, which with the Prime Video, preview shows that happen, and on Thursday, today, they're already sitting at $70 million going into a official Friday of the weekend. That's where the numbers look like they are right now. So if we continue to follow that to the end, is it in question that it could open to $500 million or more?
I've seen 800 million.
I saw 800 worldwide floated.
500 to 800 is the prediction.
That's tough. Ooh.
500 to 800. It would be the second biggest box office opening of all time. If it goes anywhere near 800, it's going to cross 2 billion because it will easily do a 2.5x. This and this is why it'll beat the Odyssey. This is so rewatchable. People are going to go watch this 3 and 4 times.
Well, they're projecting 250 million in China. You're looking at screens opening in other countries already on the 29th, like Mexico, Sweden.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
when I got out of the Odyssey, the first thing I said was, I will never willingly sit through this movie again.
Never.
And the first thing I said after this was, I'm actually excited that I get to take my wife to it.
Yep. And watch the Hulk battle again.
There's a comparison too. It's really weird to see Tom Holland in both of those films so close to each other, and I can't stand his performance in the Odyssey. I mean, even though he's a good actor, I just don't like the way it's written, and I can't.
Oh yeah.
I can't stand the modern language, and I don't know. It just
he's not good in the Odyssey. He's really not good in the Odyssey. He plays it like he's like they're trying to say that he's like 14, and I'm like, this is clearly like a 27-year-old man.
Yep. Is Tom Holland? He should be about 30 by now, isn't he?
Is he?
I think he's 30.
He's getting up there. I say that like 30's nothing. But folks, here's what we'll say about Spider-Man: Brand New Day. Go see it. Go take people to see it. And don't be so soured, so cynical that, you cause yourself not to enjoy this movie thinking, oh no, it's Marvel and it's Disney and I have to hate it. This is Sony.
Disney.
Right. This is Sony, and this is Tom Holland imprinting what he wants now because he's such a big star that he can say, I'm going to do this, but if I do this, we're going to make it for the fans. So we got to listen, if you want movies made for you, this is what they're trying to do. This is not Disney, and this is being made with the idea, let's give the people what they want. Let's not subvert their expectations, and this is what they've given.
I hope they take, if let's say this movie goes north of 2 billion, which I think that it will. We'll give those predictions in a minute, but I hope to God Kevin Feige and the other people that are in charge of Marvel going forward look at Sadie Sink, look at this, give audiences what they want, and write some good stuff.
this is the thing to remember about this movie's success, is that this movie's success is not a good thing for Disney. This is egg on Disney's
right
face. Yeah. The better this movie does, the worse it actually is for Disney.
The more it beats
this is
the more it beats
Disney's
Doomsday.
Movie. Yeah.
The more it beats Doomsday, the better.
I think now Disney gets like a sliver of some of the box office for this, but for the most part, it's so this is not like, I've seen some people in the chat say like, oh, Marvel's back. This is not Marvel is back. This is an anomalous good movie made by another studio that's connected to the Disney controlled universe, just like No Way Home was. Don't trust me. Kevin Feige is still doing his same old schlock in the rest of the Marvel universe. So
Sony is doing No Way Home, Brand New Day. You've got Sean Levy doing Deadpool and Wolverine. What is Feige making? What is Disney making? They're making Thunderbolts. They're making Fantastic Four. Folks, let this keep going. Prove to them more and more they have no idea what they're doing, and hammer this home. And the way to do that is see this.
It also destroys their narrative of superhero fatigue or franchise fatigue.
I think it saved the genre.
Is there a Marvel superhero franchise I think Blade and maybe the X-Men are the only ones that have been around longer than Spider-Man.
Let's finish there. Did this save the superhero genre?
I don't think so. No.
You think it had more legs?
I think this is an anomaly.
You think this is? I think they can keep. I think they can make another Spider-Man movie if Tom Holland has.
I think Spider-Man movies are doing fine. I don't think the superhero genre is doing fine.
Give me a Jean Grey movie. I'll go watch it now.
So you're going to put that Jean Grey in the hands of these Marvel writers who are hacked?
No, I'm not going to go see that. I'm not going to see that. But if Disney will get on their knees and say, Sony, please, you're so good at this. Give us a Jean Grey movie. You be in charge. I'm in. I know they won't, but I'd be in on that.
But then, the superhero genre is way more than just Spider-Man. So you can have good Spider-Man movies. You can even have good Deadpool movies. But at the end of the day, you've still got Captain Falcon America. You still got the new Avengers. You still the Thunderbolts. You still got James Gunn doing what James Gunn is doing. This genre is far from safe.
How about this? The superhero genre right now is being held hostage by Kevin Feige and James Gunn.
Yes.
Yeah. We got it. Ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look at these super chats. And then I've got a great question for the panel we're going to get to. Jay for 10. No, you must love everything I love and hate everything I hate. I kid, of course. I don't judge people who hate The Princess Bride because, like Raylos? No, I don't think they exist. There you go. Dude Man Cuz dropping 20 WDW Pro memberships. Thank you so much, Dude Man Cuz. Great to meet you at IRL and good to see you supporting the channel. So much appreciated.
Please, sir, may I have more pro memberships?
What?
God bless us, everyone!
We need rest. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is spongy and bruised.
Alberta Not a Retro for 10. Correction, today's open bar, they discuss Spider-Man Brand New Day and Children of Blood and Bone. By the way, Jean still made a guy walk out in front of a car when she didn't need to.
This is also true. She did that.
Okay. Yeah, you're right about that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was probably a bad creative choice. Probably takes her in a place they don't need to go. Let's see. Okay, we've got Bruce. That was her, not her sister, right?
That was her.
Okay. 10 joules for Happy Poopage. Happy Poopage. Sponge Boy Me Bob. For 5, maybe Peter didn't become cynical and angry because he remembers that's what the Green Goblin was trying to turn him into in No Way Home. Could be. Seems to be also Aunt May in his mind and his memories, as well as how much he loves his friends. J7 for 5. I would like a good black cat relationship. MJ is ruined for me because of Paul.
So I think that that's actually a great idea. I think in the next one, if MJ is still with Ezra Bridger, then I think that the way to tell this next story is now all of a sudden this sexy cat burglar is coming on to him and he has to make a choice. Do I move on or do I keep holding this torch?
Good thoughts. Michael Cooley for 5. Tennessee is the only state where spider bites are the leading cause of animal-related deaths.
Is that true?
I don't know, but it makes me wonder, like, in the other 49 states, what animals are killing you? Like, is there a creature that is the leading cause in the other 49 states that I need to be very afraid of that I don't know about yet?
Bears.
Oh, come on. You're telling me that in Massachusetts, bear bites are the leading cause of death.
Of course, Michael Cooley wants you to believe that it's spiders because look at his avatar. This is all a part of the bear agenda.
That's right. Bear propaganda again. Oh, boy. Michael Steele for 5. I'm in Calgary and just the theater in my neighborhood had 30 screenings today.
So I go to this little tiny theater that's 5 minutes from my house, and it is like there's never anybody in this theater. It was packed today.
Yep.
And they had so many showings.
I got one of the last seats available where I was not sitting right next to somebody in a huge theater.
Yeah, I'm taking my wife tomorrow, and it was hard to find 2 seats next to each other.
Yep.
Tomorrow.
I was in a 500 seat auditorium and it was jammed up.
Let's see here. Anish Chaudhry for 10 joules gives us a gold coin. Wahoo! Jay for 5.
Oh, in your theaters, did people applaud after?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And as I said, people wept at parts of the film. I was not expecting that in the Spider-Man movie. And they laughed. This was the quintessential experience that you're supposed to have in a cinema. People laughed. When they all leap out and they're all in their pose, and Peter Parker says, "Oh, that's cool." Like, the theater laughed. I was so happy with that. Jay for 5, I've only believed in one type of fatigue. Terrible writing and the massage. Oh, the message. Yeah. Sean is out there for $1.99. Marvin, your friend, may be right about the post-credits.
I don't think he is. I think it means that he's going to be on Battle World in Secret War.
Dumb friend.
Battle World. I knew Battle World was coming. I knew we were going to get all this mess. I said it years ago. Ugh.
You Nostradamus of the MCU.
Hey, you did the same thing. You told everybody it's going to be more than.
Shh, I would never spoil things like that. Except on the Patreon. Jason Nelson, member for 2 months. Do you think seeing this movie is a must before Doomsday? Has nothing at all to do with Doomsday.
Nothing to do with Doomsday.
And I'll tell you this.
Better.
If I am Disney, if I'm Feige, if I'm Josh D'Amaro right now, if Tom Holland is not in Doomsday, and we don't think he is, you better fix it. There's no way that this movie makes $2 billion plus and you don't call him and say, Tom, what do we got to do? We got a yacht, we got planes, we got trains, we got homes, we got mansions. You want to direct a film? You want an executive producer? Like, you tell us, Tom, what do you want for you to be in Doomsday for 15 minutes? Because you are now Mr. MCU. Tom Holland is now going to be in charge of a $2 billion box office. This is Mr. Marvel. From here on out, this is Mr. Marvel.
Nah, they're gonna replace him with Miles Morales.
Yeah, probably. John for 5. Rodents of unusual size.
RUS.
What are those giant things? Capybaras? Is that what it's called?
I love capybaras. They're awesome.
Terrifying things. All right. Tell you what, let's do a final little conversation before we wrap up. Final thing. All right, is Spider-Man Brand New Day the best superhero film of all time, or where does it land in the pantheon of great superhero films? So let's just go through this, guys. Let's start off with The Incredibles, all right? A lot of people say The Incredibles is the best superhero film of all time. It's a cartoon animated thing from Pixar. Is Spider-Man Brand New Day better than The Incredibles? I say, yeah. Ron?
Yeah.
Everybody on board with that? Okay. Batman Begins, some people say, is the best superhero film of all time. Of course, it's the first of the Christopher Nolan films. Spider-Man Brand New Day, is it better than Batman Begins?
Yes, and I love Batman Begins, but Batman Begins loses points for the I'm not going to kill you, but I don't have to save you.
Yep, I agree. But it edges out Batman Begins. Let's put Dark Knight aside for a minute, okay? Captain America Civil War. Many people say Captain America Civil War is the best superhero film of all time. I'm telling you, I had a better time watching this one than Captain America Civil War, and I think this one deals with bigger issues than that one. Your thoughts?
It's close, but I think it might be.
There are two better Captain America movies than that one.
Yeah. Okay. No.
Yeah. If you bring up Winter Soldier, then we can have a conversation.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, on purpose, I'm holding movies like that to. You know how that goes. Ron, is it better than Civil War?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's better than Civil War. But for me, it's better than Civil War.
I think it's better than all the Guardians of the Galaxy's movies. And I give like First Guardians a 9 out of 10. I mean, I love the first Guardians movie.
Yeah, Karen Gillan
Nebula
is the star of those movies.
Yep. Mantis is really good too in the second one. But I think it's better than all the Guardians movies. Yeah. Is there a Spider-Man movie that is better than this one? Because I actually think it's better than No Way Home, and I love No Way Home.
Oh, yeah, No Way Home is like, I love No Way Home.
I do too.
This is the best of all Tom's movies.
Yeah, it probably is, just because it is the most Spider-Man of them all.
Yeah, it is.
And you would have never convinced me going in that this would beat No Way Home. I thought that was the pinnacle. There's no way you can beat it. You just can't. It's like a 30-year buildup. And so for me to come out of the theater and say it's better than No Way Home, I mean, I was shocked. I was shocked what I was seeing. I thought, I can't believe this. Okay. The Dark Knight. The Dark Knight takes on the idea of the surveillance state and has a villain that is full-blown anarchist. It's a great film. It's a tremendous film. Great acting. I actually think this is a better superhero film than The Dark Knight.
It's a better superhero film than The Dark Knight because The Dark Knight's not a superhero film.
Yeah, okay. I'll go with you on that. And that's because Christopher Nolan grounds things so tightly.
You know what? Thank you.
And the Joker didn't find anything funny.
Right.
And by the way, thank you for that out, Marv. You gave me an out on that, so thank you.
So
you didn't have to say it.
So what do you think? Is this a better movie, than The Dark Knight?
Is it a better film?
Whoa.
Or is it a better superhero film?
Better film.
No.
Culture?
Yeah, no. Dark Knight was almost a perfect movie.
Ron?
It's hard for me because I like the lesson, the moral lessons of this movie better than The Dark Knight. The Dark Knight's a great movie though. So Heath Ledger knocked that out of the park.
Let me toss it to you this way. I think the reason this movie is better than Dark Knight is because The Dark Knight intentionally is a very dark film, obviously. Spider-Man Brand New Day gives us something worth fighting for. And this was my big criticism of The Odyssey, which we won't bring up in this because it's not a superhero film, although it might be the first superhero story of all time. So maybe it is appropriate. But Spider-Man Brand New Day gives us the beautiful things in humanity that Peter Parker is striving for. We want him to win because we can embody him in this film. Like, we know the beautiful things in our lives that he is missing and that he is striving for. And in The Dark Knight, I don't think we get, it's so dark, we don't get some of that beauty. We don't get some of that stuff that, okay, tell me why.
No, because in the end, I actually love the end of The Dark Knight. When
I do too.
He needs to continue to give the people hope, and he needs to give the people faith in good, and they cannot know that Harvey Dent became what he became. And so he himself has to become the villain. He has to become the thing that goes bump in the night again, because he's not a hero. He's what Gotham needs. That to me is a powerful thing. And that really, it spoke to the importance of hope, the importance of belief, and the importance of not having those hopes smashed in front of you. The Joker's ultimate victory was not to kill Batman atop a, skeletal building or whatever. It was to break Gotham's spirit. It was whether or not they watched, one boat blow the other boat up, or whether they watched Harvey Dent become a raving sociopath. Because it just shows you that there is no white knight. There is no perfect person. And Bruce Wayne had to stop him in that way. And the only way he could do it was to, basically give up everything.
Is it surprising to you guys that we're actually talking, though, about Spider-Man Brand New Day and Dark Knight? We're actually talking about this after, did you guys have any idea going into the theater that we would be coming out saying, which one's better? That we would get to this point?
No.
So let me ask you this then. All the Avengers movies. Is it better than all the Avengers movies? Is there an Avengers movie that's better than this?
Infinity War is better than this.
Okay, you think Infinity War is better?
Yes. I think I think Infinity War and Endgame together make one truly amazing movie. But I think Infinity War on its own is it's so fascinating because the villain is the main character. The villain is the protagonist. I love I think Infinity War does a masterful job of weaving together over a dozen different hero characters and still manages to create heart-pumping action. And the way Infinity War ends is jarring. And then with Endgame drags. It's too long. I think Endgame by itself is not better than this, but Endgame, the fascinating thing about Endgame is you can actually see the point where the MCU hits its peak and the point where it starts to fall back down to earth.
Where the women scene happens.
Yes, because the moment where Steve Rogers catches Mjolnir is
the peak.
That's the tippy top of where the MCU got to, and then she's got help was where it just starts crashing down.
Yeah, wow, it was awful.
Okay.
When Thanos headbutts Captain Marvel and she doesn't move, that's when we know we're starting to get into the weeds here.
So, spoiler alert, and this is actually why I did not enjoy Infinity War as much as many people did. There's a spoiler in this movie where they basically bring my criticism.
Yep.
I used to say this. There's a question in the movie where they say, "Excuse me, if the Thanos guy had his glove and could wipe out half of everybody in the universe, why didn't he just use it to make twice as much food?" And I was like, "That's what I asked like 5-6 years ago. Was well, can't you just make more like worlds or planets or sustenance?"
If you make more food, then the authoritarian governments will just take it all and decide who gets it.
I guess maybe. Maybe. Okay, so
I actually like the Avengers, the first one, better than
all the rest.
What I mean by that is
it's cool to see these characters together. Movie. I never thought it was a good movie.
It's rewatchable for me. I don't know why, but I just find it the most rewatchable. I don't know, and I wish
you
I
just
could
love the
explain why.
Chitauri. Just be honest.
I of course the mothership falling in.
All right. What
Some
about
of the plots I don't like, but
what about Winter Soldier?
Man,
it's not better than Winter Soldier.
Yeah, Winter Soldier's like
it's my favorite MCU movie.
Winter Soldier shows you a man who sees everything he has ever believed and dedicated himself to and fought for turned into a lie, and he still manages to keep that heroic center at the end of it, and he's still and it has friendship at the end of it. He's willing to give it all up for his friend. I'm with you till the end of the line, pal. I mean, like Winter Soldier is I think the quintessentially perfect, like non-Avengers wise, it's the quintessentially perfect Marvel movie.
It gives you a reason to love Captain America in a way that you already loved him because the first one was brilliant.
Is this why the MCU is stuck? Is this why? Because they refuse to just say Chris Evans has portrayed this Captain America that people love. Give them Captain America. They refuse, and instead we've got Captain Shirt Pants. Is that why? Is that the difference in what we have with Sony and how they're handling Spider-Man and Disney MCU and how they're handling their superheroes?
They're allergic to good, honest men, masculine men, hardworking men. The Marvel's allergic to that. Sony leaned into it.
10-4. Any other superhero films? I guess we could lump the Odyssey in, but the Odyssey is just nothing compared to this. So, but it is based on the first superhero story in humanity. But I mean, the Odyssey is nothing compared to this movie.
Forgetting the best superhero movie of all time. I don't know how you forgot the original Howard the Duck.
Ron, I told you to stop sending Leia Thompson messages. You have to stop writing her letters.
Somebody in the chat mentioned. Somebody in the chat mentioned the greatest superhero movie of all time, 1978's Superman.
It's better. Spider-Man Brand New Day is better. I mean, for its time, Superman is a great movie, but, it's like Batman 1989. For its time, it's a good movie, but watching it today versus Spider-Man Brand New Day is going to be nowhere close, just nowhere close. But they have their place in history, and so we love them for it, right? All right. Any other thoughts, guys? I think the audience has an idea of where we would place this. Of course, I think it's up there. It's up there, at least in the top 3, maybe number 1. You guys would put it maybe at number 4, number 5. But it's out of all the superhero films we've ever had, which I bet would be 100. Phooey, we forgot one, guys. Supergirl. We didn't include Supergirl on the list. What were we thinking?
Most people didn't see it, and those who did forgot about it the second they walked out of the theater.
Well,
but if you want, you can go see it now on digital.
That's probably why we forgot about it, too. All right, folks, we are 24 out of 30 on the way to the Super Chat goal. And if we're going to hit it, we better do it like right now because we're about to wrap this up and get these guys out of here. They've been so kind with their time. So have you. And bigger numbers on X than usual tonight. We got a lot of people watching. Got about 550 on YouTube, but tons of you on X. And, well, we're happy to have you out there. Make sure to check the Pro Show out on Mondays and Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern and Tuesdays and Thursdays at noon Eastern. We've got John Maynor, who is now shift detailing coding for $5. It's going to cost RDJ money to get Tom Holland into the movie last minute. Pay up. Pay up. It is worth every dollar to get Spider-Man Tom Holland in that movie. It is, guys, I would say it might be a $400 to $500 million decision to get him in there.
In the Comic-Con trailer for Doomsday, there's a line that Doom says where Thor says, "You'll beg for hell by the time I'm done with you." And Doom says, "Hell bends to me, for I am Doom." And I was like, wow, that's a really good Doom line. That's like a comic book Doom line. The problem is it's said by Robert Downey Jr. in that voice.
In the Robert Downey Doom voice.
Yeah. Hell bends to me, for I am Doom.
Yeah.
Ah.
We will get Moose and Squirrel. J for 5, Batman Begins was the only Nolan Batman movie I liked.
It's the only one that's an actual Batman movie. I'll tell you that much. It's the only one that's a superhero movie.
And the third one was basically...
The Dark Knight's a brilliant crime drama.
Yeah.
But it's not a superhero movie.
And the third one is basically, well, darn it, I'm required to make this, aren't I?
The third one is, how dare you not give me an Oscar for that last one?
Marv, that is so on the nose. I may steal that from you. J Light Lady for 5. Oh, happy, 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 brave new day. By the way, 2 brown recluse and 1 black widow bites while I lived 20 years in Tennessee. Sadly, no Spidey powers. J Light Lady, I'm just glad the scorpions stayed away. Sound like you were a tasty treat for some of these creatures.
A friend of mine actually lost her leg to a spider bite.
Yeah.
Brown recluse.
That's pleasant.
Yeah. And I think it was out in Vegas, so be careful.
Nowhere is safe.
I have bark scorpions in my neck of the woods.
Do they bark at you?
No. That is not the kind of bark we're talking about.
Are those the small yellow ones?
Yeah, but they can be bigger. and
I've only seen a few scorpions in the wild. I'll be honest. I've only seen a few of them.
I've seen them a couple times in concert.
They're good at hiding. Oh, good grief. J Light Lady for 5. Although I'm an excellent seamstress and textile artist, so maybe I do have some Spidey superpowers.
Arachne.
He got his full Spidey powers in this movie. That was cool, eh?
Hey, did anyone else notice that there are plenty of times in this movie where you can actually see Tom's eyes behind the spider?
I did notice, yeah. And I think it's intentional. He's wanting people to see him. At least see the window into the soul. J for 10, Disney doesn't understand what true heroism is, and sacrifice really is. A majority of men wish to go out in sacrificial glory. John 15:13 is my favorite verse. And, John 3:17 is mine. How's that, eh? Same book. Burnouts for $1.99. Jean Grey, Wanda Maximoff 2.0. Yes or no? WandaVision end? No, she is not Wanda, and thank goodness. Her powers are well defined. They do evolve. I'm not sure if I go fully on why they evolve, but it's kind of cool when they do.
The one thing I said to my one friend, we were talking about it, I said the entire, when she was powering up at the end and like her power was coming out, I'm like, do not show any fire. Do not show any fire. Do not show any fire. I'm like, just don't go there.
Yep. And it's not time yet.
Thankfully they didn't.
And that was done poorly in the past. So
twice.
We don't want to do that badly again.
It ended the movie franchise twice. So they're
That's
not
right.
they're going to do it.
J for 5, greater love has no one than to this, to lay down one's life for one's friends. Yeah. Greater love has no one than to lay down their life for another. Sleepy person for 2. Hello, pro and panel. How would you rate Logan?
Oh, this movie. I hate Logan.
You don't like old man Logan?
Oh, I hate it. I think it's so dumb. I think the villain should have been. You could have made it Deathstrike. You could have made it Sabretooth. The Wolverine clone was lazy. People just like it because Wolverine, like there's gore and he says the F word.
I think it's pretentious.
It is very pretentious, and I've always been just like, you know what I really want to see? Wolverine help Professor Xavier get on the toilet.
I think it's. I think back in the day, people were giving it an 8 or a 9 out of 10. I think if you rewatch it now, it's probably like a 6.
It was the beginning of the deconstruction, and it was a James Mangold film, which it basically should have told you just how bad he was at making films.
Stick with Ferraris, you.
That's right.
James All Day for 5. Marvel should have cast Nikolaj Coster-Waldau as Dr. Doom. I hope I got that name right.
I do love that in the beginning of Deadpool and Wolverine, he actually does shoot on the fact that a regenerative healing factor would not have allowed him to die like that.
Guys, we hit the goal. So I tell you what, Marv, do either you or Culture have power over super chats?
Nope.
No.
Okay. Well, let me type this in. AMA time, folks. All you gotta do is type AMA. And then your question, no need to type anything else. We'll take the first 10, get them on the screen and answer them quickly because these guys have got to get out of here. Light Lady for 5, Supergirl superpower is the Obliviate spell.
Yeah.
She's the boredom spell. Light Lady says 1. Jay says and. Jay Light Lady says goal. And so does Jay. And that means, folks, hip hip hooray, we have hit the goal. And for that, we'll do an AMA. All you have to do is type in AMA and then ask us anything. We'll take the first 10, and that's got to be about Spider-Man, but type in AMA. While we do so, Ron, to the folks out there about your channel and what you've got coming up.
Follow the Bradley's Fun. Let's see. The next official show of The Dish will be Monday at 2:05 p.m. after that Park Place. I may be live at a park tomorrow, but it really kind of depends on the weather because the prediction right now is rain all day. So I'm not 100% sure, but I will probably do some type of a live stream tomorrow in the afternoon after that Park Place. Also, I'm still editing all of the vlog from the Southeast Game Exchange. There's a lot more footage than I realized that I had, but I've got a great interview with the Critical Drinker, and I've got some of you and Drinker and Wiz on the panel and some other stuff, fun stuff from the event. Culture,
awesome.
Marv, everybody's in there. So
yeah, you got to send me that full panel we did too. I'd like to have the entire thing when you get a chance. Marv, tell people about the M4 Empire, which is where a lot of folks came from in the beginning.
Yeah, so the M4 Empire is my channel. We just hit 8,000 subscribers. We're at 8,600 right now, rocketing toward 10,000 hopefully by December. So if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. We do a daily stream on weekdays at 10 a.m. The M4cast AM, and we do 3 video releases a day. My full Spider-Man spoiler-free review is currently up there, out of the theater review, as well as one from earlier today about Mark Ruffalo being banned from the press tour.
Awesome. And Culture Casino, tell us about your stuff.
Sure. Yeah. Every day I do a show called the 60-Minute Daily. Used to be the 6-Minute Daily. It's now a full hour. And I had to expand it. People suggested it, so I did it. And I've also got my my review dropping tomorrow morning. If you're a member, it's already up there for you. But if you're not a member of the channel, it's going to be up for you tomorrow morning early. Hopefully get a chance to check it out. See how it compared to everybody's analysis this evening. And I don't have time to make 3 videos a day. Sometimes to make a short.
Wonderful.
I've got it down to place.
All right, guys, here's the 10. Here we go. And folks, we are done on the AMA, and we'll get them on the screen, but no more acceptings because we hit the 10. From Jason Nelson, I love the Snyder Cut. Agree.
Jason, I love you, buddy, but I think that is the single worst piece of crap that has ever been created.
Tell us how you really feel.
That movie is payback for the sins of man. That movie is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. It is 4 joyless hours. I would rather watch Supergirl.
Oh my gosh.
Supergirl's at least over in 2 hours. This is 4 hours. I gotta watch someone smell Aquaman's sweater and then watch Superman put on a black costume because it's cool. If you just took out all the slow motion, that movie would be an hour and a half.
Caveat ties. How's Marv like the new Halo?
I did not like it.
There you go.
Yeah, it was bleh.
Hoshi Ryo, what about animated superhero movies? Favorite, most hated on the animated?
Good question. The DC movies are where it's at for the animated films. The Justice League War and like that whole series where like there's a whole continuity that ends with another Justice League movie at the end, and it's very good. They do the death of Superman and the reign of the Superman.
I'm going to say Rise of the Phantasm for me for favorite, and for most hated. I don't know. I don't know. I can't think of an animated superhero film that I hate per se.
Most hated. What If series. I hate the What If series.
The What If series is terrible, but it's a series. It's not a
yeah, I don't know an animated superhero film that I remember hating.
I don't think I've ever seen one that I hate. But by the way, one that a lot of people don't really know about, that I think flies under the radar that you should definitely go out of your way to watch: Batman and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's excellent.
There you go.
Batman versus the Shredder. That's all I have to say.
Sound Mind Inc. What movie is worse, Madam Web or Supergirl?
Oh,
Supergirl.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, Madam Web's unintentionally funny.
Yeah. There's some joy you can derive.
Honestly, I'd watch the Snyder Cut before Supergirl. I'd take it back. Okay. The more I think about how bad Supergirl is,
Supergirl's so bad.
But how many times can you drown in the same movie?
Just keep trying, man. Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. Cape Canaveral says, does this Spider-Man movie require having seen those Netflix shows you keep mentioning?
Not at all.
No, not at all.
You're good to go. Donovan, better overall, Batman films or Spider-Man films? At this point, Spider-Man.
Spider-Man films.
Yeah.
Yeah, there have been some clunkers for Batman.
10 years ago, I would have said Batman, but at this point, Spider-Man. Jay, favorite animated Spider-Man show?
90s Spider-Man.
90s for me too.
90s Fox Spider-Man. The close second, though, is Spectacular Spider-Man. The only reason it's not my favorite is because it ended on a cliffhanger. Because Disney started making them, and they just cut the legs out from under them.
Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends in the 80s.
For me too.
Yeah. And I like that for the nostalgia, but I think the 90s is that one's better. I think the Fox one.
They do the symbiote. They do the symbiote incredible in there. They do an amazing job with the symbiote.
DMC Corp says, when does Pro Radio return? Well, probably honestly never. And the reason is because although we were doing it the right way with radio stations, YouTube realized that they were getting huge numbers of radio station channels coming out of third world countries. Not us, of course, but we were told that it was just wise to get out of that because YouTube was about to do like the Hulk and smash that genre because they simply can't keep up with that kind of bandwidth of people running nonstop streaming and the number of channels they were getting. So what we did is we repurposed all that music, or at least most of the music, and it's featured in the game Zax, which we'll be releasing in full in August. So check it out. We actually repurposed all that music and the song Counting Cars that is in the intro. We're going to be getting a video out on that probably in the next week or two. We're working on it. Your reverse Uno card. Spider-Man have any chance of fighting Mark Ruffalo as himself? I would pay good money for that. Boy, I wish. Yeah, kick in the jaw. And Mike D has the final one. Will Nolan go back to being non-woke, or is this how he'll operate moving forward?
I don't know. I think that the reason Nolan went woke with this one is I think this was they knew that Christopher Nolan making an Odyssey movie was guaranteed to make money, and so they put the woke elements into it because then they're able to point to it and say, look, see, go woke, go broke is fake, even though there are dozens of examples over the last couple of years of woke movies failing.
I think it depends on if it wins enough awards.
Yeah, I think I think the casting, the stunt casting was for awards purposes, but again, there's stunt casting in the movie that we just saw, but whatever.
There you go. All right, folks, that's it for us. Go check out Ron at Follow the Bradley's Fun, Marv at the M4 Empire, as well as thatparkplace.com, and Culture Casino at Culture Casino and That Garden Place. And with that, folks, we're happy to say we finally got a good one. We finally got a great one. And there's more great movies on the way. We've got Godzilla Minus Zero. We've got I Play Rocky. We've got Ebenezer now. So who knows? This could be the year where we show Hollyweird, hey, Just make more of the good stuff, please.
The mainstream media just can't understand how it is we continue to do what we do. They don't realize that we are powered by you, and you are...
1.21 gigawatts! 1.21 gigawatts!
Folks, we've still got decades and decades left in the can. It drives the mainstream mad.
Would it make you feel any better if you knew that what we're asking Matt here to do is a holy thing?
You see, we're on a mission from God. We're on a mission from God.
Now you're gonna put me right back in the joint.
They're not gonna catch us. We're on a mission from God.
So, folks, as we always say as we end each and every show here, and we mean it, keep learning, keep growing, and as always, keep having fun.
Every time they hit him, he stood back up again. So they hit him harder. Still, he got back to his feet. Standing man.